what is your experience with bond or tax referendum?
With bonding and tax referendums, they didn't have to do that in the military. And you know how fouled up that financial system is if you're watching the news this week. As far as at John Wood Community College, we are able to issue bonds. We get a better rate. And what we're doing there is we're balancing, we're taking a look at our investments and the interest that we pay by doing a bond issue. We find that we can do better by issuing bonds. And so for those of you who are against the bond issue, I'd like to talk to you maybe one-on-one that this is good for our college. Yes, it increases debt, but it's debt that's offset and it enables us to reach higher levels of excellence, better resources for our faculty and staff than we could otherwise attain. A tax referendum, I'm just preparing that now. Tax referendums are the most difficult issues to take on because you have to explain in front of the public why they benefit, because this is about them, and you're doing that. But you got to get in front of every constituency, lay out the numbers, and talk about the return on their investment, why it benefits them, why they're going to need that nurse someday, why they're going to want to pick up the phone and have a paramedic or a law enforcement officer show up, why by investing in our corporate center or the Harrison Center, why this is good for them in our workforce development center because it provides a better skilled workforce. Productivity goes up, the productivity of our entire region goes up, and this benefits all of us. I believe we can do this. I believe we can do this because the school system here in St. Louis, 2 years ago, $350 million bond referendum. I believe that the St. Louis voters will think, and they're going to weigh it based upon their interests. But when you can appeal and identify those interests, they're going to align. They just did it this week with the 1% income tax for those who live outside the city but work in the city. They passed that. It's possible. I'm going to be engaged. I'm not going to be running around the country in the middle of a tax referendum. I'm going to be here. I'm going to be out there in industry, in the workplace. I'm going to be talking to every group that will listen.
This is a two-parter. What do you do for pleasure? And secondly, how do you make judgments about competing factions?
Okay. That's two questions.
Yes, it's two questions.
Fair enough. The first question, right now I'm reading Pollock's World Without End. And I'm reading that because right before that I read Pillars of the Earth. Before that I read Fall of Giants. I tend to gravitate towards historical fiction. I like biography. I just read the latest 1776. Again, the biography on Washington. I look to those pieces for inspiration. And yes, I was an English teacher. I've read the great books. I love literature, but right now I'm kind of into it for practical knowledge, how to move issues along. The second question, I forgot.
No problem. How do you make judgments between competing factions?
Build bridges, collaboration, consultation. You know, I have never had a vision of my own take the concrete form that I envisioned it way back then. It's not once has that happened. That's because everything that I share information, I bring together people, we engage in a dialogue, we hire the best people for their field that we can possibly find. Why would I believe that I have a better idea? Now, at the same time, we bring together competing groups. I like for us to look for the common ground. And then we're going to find the way together. And anyone that believes that it's my way or the highway, you've heard that before, really, we're not going to work well together. You've been in that group where when our 1 against 10 believes it's a tie. No. Respect everyone, what they bring to a project, look for the common ground, develop the resources, and see how we can move a project, an initiative forward. That's the best I can. There will come a time, however, that when that person that is convinced that if he has a majority, 1 against 10, that there has to be decisiveness. And you'll find it. Because I believe in the common good, the greater good, collaboration, and you're not going to believe me because nobody ever does. I smile a lot, I tell jokes, I'm easy to get along with, but then there will be that person that will not like it because they're used to getting their way through a time. That's human nature. And I think that that's my job, to actually make a decision in the end. She'll be part of that decision.
We have about 12 questions.
And I'm talking
To what extent is maintaining current staff a priority?
That was a yes, no answer. All right, short answer. Short answer. Here's what I do. We've already gone through searches, we've got interviews, you went out and bought a tie or a really nice blouse, right? You've invested in this college. And we've invested in you. And I hope that we're doing I know you're doing professional development because one thing I didn't do when we went through the crisis, I didn't cut travel, professional development. That seemed to be the thing that was cut all the time. That's not what we did at our college. But more important, how do we invest in you beyond professional development? It's, and this is a very practical answer. One thing that I do, UUA and hiring practice. All right, now I probably have a room full of supervisors in here. Usually is the case. But I'm going to tell you anyway. I said, we're going to do an internal search first. For every job, every promotion that we have. And if we have 3 or more fully qualified candidates for that promotable position, we're going to hire internally. And we stick. Now what that does, the argument against that is that, well, we're making widgets here, and they make widgets better in Kansas City, Missouri, so we should hire, I know that we can do better. No. We're going to invest in our people, we're going to recognize our people, and they're going to believe that they have a chance to rise up through the system. And so, yeah, I know it's flawed. I know the flaws behind taking care of existing staff. But that's what I've done. And unless there are laws, because you never do anything unethical, immoral, or illegal, but otherwise, if I can exert that level of influence, I plan to do it.
Beyond dollars, what are the primary challenges or opportunities here at St. Louis Community College?
Grandkids. It's not about the money. It really isn't about the money. And yes, it's about family, but it's also about, I grew up in this metropolitan area. And you know, when I grew up here, it hurt. In my high school, I was the only one that looked like me. In my grade school, my brother and I were the only ones that looked like me. So, they weren't good times. And we've gotten a lot better since then. And it is the community college, all of you, that is making that difference. And you're welcoming all. We're giving them a chance. We're adapting our programs, at least we do at my college. I suspect that you are for student success. And we create lives that never might have happened otherwise. Now, how wonderful to be able to go back where you grew up and make that happen for so many others. I love community colleges. I love this one. Before I'm even here. If I'm even here.
Would you support current St. Louis Community College initiatives, such as Achieving the Dream, the Chancellor's Leadership Academy, the Centers for Teaching and Learning?
Yes. Last year, 1 year ago, now I've been at John Wood Community College for 3 years, fair enough, and we've gone through a budget crisis, but we found the money to create, and we call it a CELA, Center for Excellence in Teaching and Learning. It's absolutely necessary. When I was in the United States Air Force, I implemented a faculty development program. Now, they weren't as credentialed as you are, these sergeants. So we brought them in, we taught them basic teaching methodology, influence, delivery methods, pedagogy, Bloom's taxonomy. We explain these concepts. We can all benefit from professional development opportunities. And if we can do them in-house, and you're big enough, you're really big, in St. Louis Community College, that you can host a lot of those in-house, the Chancellor's Academy, that just leverage resources, so you don't have to go camp out in the Motel 8 or 6, whatever it is, and do this. You can do it from home. Yes, like I said, when we had the crisis descend upon us very early, I did not cut travel, professional development opportunities. Even better here, you do a lot of it in-house. Call the campus, call your department, and ask.
When you expand on your relationships with the community, what would you focus on in our community?
First thing I'm going to do is go see the mayor. Second thing I'm going to do is go see our representatives in the state legislature.